As I've said, it is a very, very serious thing to suspend people's fundamental rights and freedoms. The proactive use of the notwithstanding clause is actually an attack on people's fundamental rights, and in this case is an attack on one of the most basic rights available, that of collective bargaining. That's why I spoke to union leaders this morning. That's why when I spoke with Premier Ford on Wednesday, I asked him not to invoke the notwithstanding clause preemptively because suspending people's basic rights should never be something people enter into lightly or without seriously weighing the consequences. And I think there are a lot of people, a lot of parents like me who have kids in Ontario schools that are concerned about the job action and about the strikes. But I can tell you, all parents and all Canadians should be extremely worried about suspension of our most fundamental rights and freedoms. That's why, as I've said, the federal government is looking at all options, and we're considering what we can do to continue to be the government and the party that stands up for people's fundamental rights and freedoms, as we always have been. But it's also a moment for ordinary Canadians to stand up and say no to suspension of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, to suspension of their most fundamental rights. I think the first thing to understand is that Canadians themselves should be extremely worried about the increased commonality of provincial governments using the notwithstanding clause preemptively to suspend their fundamental rights and freedoms. This is something that all Canadians who value the freedoms, the rights, the opportunities that Canada gives them and gives us all should be standing up to be very concerned about.